If you've been watching the headlines and feeling unsure about what's happening in the Sacramento real estate market, then you are not alone. Whether you're thinking about buying or selling a home here in Sacramento, then making the wrong move right now could cost you thousands of dollars. So in this video, I'll share some big changes occurring right now in the Sacramento housing market, how this compares to other parts of the country, and most importantly, what does this all mean for you? Also, every week, people just like you reach out to me after watching my YouTube videos, and it's probably the best part about my job here. So if you're looking to make a move to the greater Sacramento area, then I'll provide my contact information below, or you can pause this video and book a call with me right here. All right, with that said, I have a lot to share in today's video, so let's go ahead and dive right in. I'm gonna share multiple sources. The first one I wanna share is from Redfin. They go over migration patterns for the 50 biggest cities nationwide. And here's something I want to point out here. This has been a common trend for several months, but I'm going to share some other things that are some big changes though. It says of the major US metros, Sacramento was the most searched for destination amongst home buyers looking to relocate from January this year through March this year. Next came Phoenix, Cape Coral, Florida, Sarasota, Florida, and of course, Orlando. In contrast, Los Angeles was the most searched destination amongst home buyers looking to leave, followed by New York, Seattle, San Francisco, and Washington. And that, by the way, is Washington, D.C. I always mention this though, because every market's different. If you look at the country as a whole, California is by far leading the nation for people looking to move out and move to a different state. In contrast, the biggest migration into the state is Florida. More than 29,000 people were searching to move into Florida versus out of state there. In contrast, in California, more than 48,000 people were searching for houses for sale outside of California. Redfin also provided the cities in which people are looking to move into, and of course, the areas in which people are looking to move out of. So Sacramento leads the nation amongst the 50 biggest metros. After that, we have Phoenix, Cape Coral, Florida, and these other Florida markets, and then Vegas in the number 6 spot. In contrast, Los Angeles, New York, Washington, and San Francisco, as well as DC, are the biggest migrations outward into move into a different location. All right, with that said, let's look at another report. This is from ResiClubAnalytics.com. I just posted about 2 weeks ago. This covers the month of March. So I just want to share this because looking at national trends, I want to share how this compares to the Sacramento area market. So as of the end of March, national active inventory for sale, in other words, the amount of houses for sale or house inventory on a national level, was up by 28.5% this March compared to 1 year ago. But we still have approximately 20% fewer compared to March of 2019. So we're up greatly compared to a year ago, but still down compared to 2019. I will say though, the difference between this year and pre-COVID is getting more and more narrow, as you can see, because of the inventory increasing this year. So simply put, buyers have gained some leverage in most resale markets over the past year. So taking these stats into consideration, let's have a look at Sacramento County and the surrounding counties as well. So Sacramento County is right here. So we're up by 59% year over year. So 59% more homes for sale compared to just 12 months ago, whereas the national average, we're only up by 28.5%. So as of the end of March this year, there's 1,735 houses for sale. That, of course, is higher compared to the past several years, but still lagging behind March of 2019 as well as March of 2018. So big picture, even though inventory has basically surged from about 12 months ago, we're still right in line with normal levels compared to the onset of COVID. Let's have a look at El Dorado County, which includes El Dorado Hills, but also goes all the way until South Lake Tahoe. Inventory is up by 42.2%. And also in Placer County, which encompasses Roseville, Rockland, Granite Bay, but also North Lake Tahoe, it's up by 49.7% year over year. Also, for comparison's sake, in San Francisco County, inventory is only up by 1.1% year over year. Here's the big difference though, because when we look at this March compared to March of 2019, San Francisco is up by 56%, But look at Sacramento County. Sacramento is down by 15.7%. So therefore, that's very close to the national average, down by about 20%. Here's my personal observations of the Sacramento real estate market based as a realtor here for about 12 years now. The increase of inventory from about 1 year ago is, of course, pretty eye-opening, which is giving more home buyers more options. And therefore, we're not seeing in general bidding wars in which home sellers are getting 10 to 12 offers like we saw in 2022, for example, when everyone was chasing to get a lower rate when mortgage rates were increasing greatly. I would say that the housing market right now is a little bit of a mixed bag. I've seen houses that are overpriced, they need a lot of work, and they just sit in the market. They don't get an offer. In contrast, homes that are priced right, in other words, not overpriced, and they're updated or they're in a great area, they are getting multiple offers in Sacramento. And that's also true for the Sacramento suburbs, such as Roseville, Rockland, El Dorado Hills, and Folsom, for example. Let's change gears slightly here and talk about overall numbers in Sacramento according to Redfin. Let's first go over the supply side, which is new listings and, of course, active listing inventory. So new listings, this is when a homeowner lists their home for sale. That's up by 11.5% year over year. The line above here is 2022, below is 24, and in red is 2023. Unfortunately, they do not include pre-COVID levels. So new listings increased by nearly 12%. Let's have a look at pending sales first, though. So we're seeing an increase of new supply in the market, yet pending home sales only increased by 0.5%. So new supply in the market rising faster compared to home buyers getting their offers accepted, which is one of the reasons, why inventory has been increasing. Another reason is this right here, days in the market. So days in the market is at 17 days. So still houses selling very, very quickly, but that is about 3 days longer compared to the same time frame in 2024. So homes taking longer to sell. We're seeing more houses being listed for sale, but we're seeing basically the level of pending home sales at relatively flat levels. And because of this, this is causing inventory to increase, which is this right here. Inventory is up by 31.95% according to Redfin over the past 4 weeks. This is a 4-week rolling average, by the way. And also the reason why this figure here is different compared to Resi Club is, of course, Resi Club is looking at Sacramento County, which is a giant area. Around 1 million people live there. Redfin here on their data center only looks at Sacramento metro area, so the city of Sacramento, so a very small area compared to the whole county, for example. So in any case, looking at this graph, of course, we're up by 31%. At this time last year, we're only up by 27%. So levels we have right now of inventory is at least a 3-year high right now. Here's something that really caught my attention though, that you guys should be aware of though, is that even though inventory is up greatly from last year, homes on average are still selling very, very close to the seller's final list price. That is at 99.6%, which means on average, out of all the houses that did sell in Sacramento over the past 1 month, they sold for 0.4% less than the seller's final list price. This is more or less in line with about 2 years ago this time, but still less than this time in 2024. Back then, that ratio was at 100%, which means on average, homes selling for the asking price. But of course, this is way lower compared to the craziness during the spring home buying season of 2022. At that time, the average was 4% over asking. Now we're slightly below the asking price right now. If you guys are actually searching to buy a house, or if you're looking to sell your house, you may be looking at houses in your area or the area you want to buy in and seeing price reductions. So this is a look at altosresearch.com for Sacramento. I really wish I could include the whole region, but really what happens in Sacramento is very common to see what we see in Roseville, Rockland, Folsom, for example. In general, the trends don't really fluctuate a whole lot, except for home prices, of course. So looking at the 7 days ended April 11th, the share of price drops is basically at 38%. So about 1/3 of all houses for sale have reduced their asking price. That's at 38%. higher than this time last year at 30%, way higher compared to 2 years ago when we were at 21%. And of course, higher compared to the past several years before that as well. So basically what we're seeing right now regarding the share price drops, we're seeing a seasonal uptick because we tend to see an uptick around April each and every year. I do not expect to see what happened in 2022 to happen this year though, because we basically bottomed out at around 14% and then skyrocketed all the way up till 57% by the time we hit November 11th that year. That is because mortgage rates went from 3% to about 8% in less than 1 month, causing inventory to absolutely skyrocket. And of course, that's one reason why we saw the share price drops absolutely skyrocketing that year. This year, inventory increasing, but not increasing at that same rate we saw 2 years ago or 3 years ago. With that said, please reach out if you guys are looking to buy or sell a house in the greater Sacramento area. My team and I would absolutely love to help you. I'll provide my contact information in the video description below. Have an amazing day. Of course, if you guys got any value out of today's video, please hit the like button and also consider subscribing as well. We just hit 400 subscribers on this channel. So thank you everyone who has done that. Have an amazing day and we'll see you in the next video.